Coming up, tag team action as the Doctors, Dr. D. David Schultz and Dr. Death Steve Williams, face Snarl Tag Champs The Freak and Wild Thing Wayne Tag, the Psychodelixx, in a non-title bout.
This next tag team contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 571 pounds, Dr. D. David Schultz and Dr. Death Steve Williams, the Doctors.
All right, gang, the Doctors are in. Schultz and Williams, and when the Doctors are in, that usually means trouble for the opponents. But tonight it's a non-title match against the Snarl Tag Team Champions, the Psychodelixx, and the Psychodelixx can hold their own in a fight.
These two former Legends Tag Champions are definitely going to be a tough target to take down, even for the likes of the Freak and Wild Thing. This is already shaping up to be a long matchup.
Their opponents, accompanied by D-Luscious, at a combined weight of 477 pounds, they are Rwl Sn Rl Tag Team Champions, the Freak, and Wild Thing Wayne Tag, the Psychodelixx.
Looks like Sylvia Strong is already in celebration mode over power and beauty, sending Wild Thing's Lady D-Luscious out with the Snarl Tag Team Champions. Well, hey, whoever they come to ringside with, the Freak and Wild Thing Wayne Tag always deliver quality matches, and they're taking a short break from their ongoing disputes with the Guns brothers. In favor of this showcase match against the former Legends Tag Champs, and I think GB is right, the Psychodelixx are known for being able to go long haul, much like the Doctors. We've had quite a few short matches tonight, but no, I don't see this tag match ending suddenly. These two teams are gonna duke it out until one can't go anymore.
Well, hey, where I come from, that's called a good match. Looks like we're in for a treat this evening. Didn't take long to get the sides chosen up. Going to be Dr. D. David Schultz and the Freak starting this one off. Oh, man. Referee Willie Johnson rings the bell, and here we go. They lock it up, collar and elbow. Schultz up over the shoulder, slammed right down to the canvas by the Freak. The Freak follows that one up with a stomp. Schultz is laid out center ring, shoves the Freak back, gets back up to a standing position, delivers a kick to the Freak. Schultz misses with a couple of swings. The Freak's got him up, big time scoop slam. The Freak moves in, countered by Dr. D. He counters a throat chop, catches a kick to the midsection instead. Ducks back running headbutt. Takes Schultz down to the canvas, that was fancy. Hard right forearm from the Freak. Schultz laid out, catches a knee in the arm, courtesy of the Freak. The Freak rounds up Schultz again. Looks like he's taking a walk towards the Psychodelixx corner. Here comes Wild Thing Wayne Tag, and here's where all that wild tagging comes into place. Oh, man, hard shot to the gut from Wild Thing Wayne Tag, who pitches Schultz over the top rope and out onto the floor. And the Psychodelixx already getting kind of aggressive. Schultz standing up. The Freak gets a hold of him, tussles. Wild Thing Wayne Tag going after Dr. Death Steve Williams, winds up getting hang up on the top rope. Schultz makes his way back inside the ring. Goes after Wild Thing, but no good. Catches a chop, counters another shot, delivers a throat chop to the Wild Thing. Tag up in the front cradle, but slip and slide out. Hard right. Another and another. Schultz catching some fists over here, winds up in the corner. Wild Thing raking the forearm across the face of Dr. D. David Schultz. And the Wild Thing showing where the wild in his name comes from, as Willie Johnson reminds him, you got to count of 5 to stop that. Wayne Tag rolls him over, goes for the cover. 1, 2, but no. Dr. D. David Schultz powering out of the pin. Steve Williams desperate to get in there, reaching for his partner, but Schultz tags the Wild Thing with a right. Hurt his hand doing it too. Wayne Tag rounded up again by Schultz. Catches some elbows to the midsection from the Wild Thing. A hard right puts Schultz back in the corner again. Another one keeps him there. And another series of raking forearms across the face of Dr. D. Down he goes into the corner in a seated position. And again, the Wild Thing playing chokey with Dr. D. David Schultz, the man who slapped John Stossel on live television. Here we go. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. One, but only a one. Steve Williams breaking up the pin. Dr. D. David Schultz makes his way back inside the ring as the Freak goes after Steve Williams on the outside, pitches him towards the barricades. Schultz swings and misses. Wild Thing sidesteps him, catches a kick to the midsection instead. The Freak, look at this over here, with Williams pulling pile driver over there in the outside corner. Wild Thing hung up on the top rope. Dr. D. David Schultz shoved away by the Wild Thing, Wayne Tague. Schultz rounded up again by the Wild Thing. Quick DDT. Leaving both, the Freak and the Wild Thing leaving both their opponents just laid out. Wayne Tague gets a hold of Schultz. Beautiful suplex from the Wild Thing. And Schultz trying to find a way out of town, but can't seem to. Here we go. A bunch of fists right to the knees. Schultz is definitely feeling that one, even through the knee brace. Here comes the Freak on the tag. D-Luscious enjoying the whole show in one of her rare appearances tonight. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Whoa, close to. But Steve Williams breaking up the pin again. The Freak certainly didn't appreciate that. Don't think he's going to let it go either. Williams hangs him up on the top rope. Delivers the knee to the Freak. Well, not forgiven, not forgotten, I guess. The Freak over the top rope, but crashes and burns as Schultz is rolled back into the ring. The Freak rolls himself back on inside. Gets a hold of Dr. D. David Schultz. Oh man, wrist clutch kick to the face. Running kick from Schultz puts the Freak down on the mat. Schultz with a kick to the gut and a clubbing overhand right takes the Freak down to the mat. The Freak counters with an enziguri, puts Schultz face down on the canvas. The Freak gets a hold of Dr. D. David Schultz. Head first into the turnbuckle he goes. He counters with an elbow, but Wild Thing Wayne Tague tags him with a cheap shot. Schultz whipped to the ropes, hard shot to the midsection from the Freak. Whoa, wound him up and knocked him down. The Freak with those trademark series of headbutts to Dr. D. Right in front of D-Luscious. And here comes Wild Thing Wayne Tague. Oh yeah, Tague's fired up. Look at this. Getting a little bit of support here from the folks in Winnipeg. And here comes Steve Williams on attack. Running kick took him down as he charged right into it. The Freak tagged in again by Wild Thing Wayne Tague. Schultz charges again, catches an elbow. A chop across the chest to the Freak. He's got a hold of the Freak, gonna pay him back for that pile driver on the outside. Oh man, this one has gotten nuts already. Steve Williams on the outside looked like he might have been going after D-Luscious, but he wasn't though. The Freak back inside the ring delivers a kick to Dr. Death. Rebounds off the middle ropes, flying crossbody. Nicely done. Here's a tag. Wild Thing Wayne Tague back in the game. Wild Thing misses with his swing. Williams gets a hold of him. Has him all the way up for the long stalling. Boom! There he goes. Oh man. Williams covers one. Man, not even one, huh? Okay. Williams goes after the Freak for interference. Wild Thing Wayne Tague on the outside. The Freak dropped on the apron by Williams. Williams locks up Wild Thing. Wild Thing swings and misses with a clothesline. Williams gets him from behind. Locks him up in a collar and elbow. Has him up over the shoulder. Wild Thing slips out the back door. Delivers a chop block to the knee and down he goes. Steve Williams slammed down to the canvas as the referee counts. The Wild Thing opens up with a series of shots. Gets a hold of... Oh man. Double arm suplex from Wild Thing Wayne Tague. The Freak, unfortunately, looks like he might have taken quite a hit because he is absolutely motionless. Well, there we go. He's back up on his feet again. Wild Thing's back in the ring again. And here comes Dr. D. David Schultz, tagged in by Steve Williams. Misses with the running kick. Wild Thing gets a hold of him. Gets a hold of the trunks. Has him all the way up. But no good. Schultz countered with an elbow. Schultz swings and misses. Wild Thing catches elbows to the midsection from Dr. D. David Schultz. Schultz takes him down to the canvas. Starts raining right hands on the big old ball head of Wild Thing Wayne Tate. Steve Williams watching as Dr. D. David Schultz gouges the face of Wild Thing Wayne Tate. That's a parting shot as he walks out, and in comes Dr. Death again. Wow, Steve Williams swings and misses. The Wild Thing gets a hold of him. Whoa, whoa, what a suplex that was. Definitely not in the traditional playbook. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Oh, close but no cigar again. The Freak gets a hold of Dr. D. David Schultz, pitches him to the outside. Williams back up on his feet, locks up, catches a kick from the Wild Thing. Hard right spins Williams around. Side suplex from the Wild Thing. Here's another cover. 1, 2. But another near fall as this match continues to rage on. Steve Williams, rounded up by the Wild Thing, counters the Wild Thing, gets a hold of him, has him up over the shoulders, and takes him down the canvas the hard way. D-Luscious watching as woohoo, Steve Williams swings and misses on that one. DDT from the Wild Thing. Deftly stepping over and tagging in the Freak. Dr. D. David Schultz back at his corner now. After an outside brawl with the Freak. A headbutt from Steve Williams. Takes the Freak down to the mat, and Williams tags out and tags in Dr. D. David Schultz. The Freak standing center ring waiting for him. He misses with the running kick. Gets a hold of the Freak from behind. The Freak delivers an elbow. Rebounds off the ropes. Beautiful drop kick. Leaves Schultz sinking. The Freak escorts Schultz to the Psychodelixx corner. Smashes his head into the buckle. Wild Thing moves in again. Double team tag shot to Dr. D. David Schultz. He's going wild with the elbows. The Wild Thing is going crazy. Look out. Schultz. Whoa, man, did you see that rebound backbreaker? Off the ropes. Yes, sir, the Psychodelixx play the game just a little bit different. Wild Thing Wayne Tate. Whoa, there's that beautiful suplex again. And Schultz looks like he's taking a little nap in the middle of the ring. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg, but too close to the opposing team's corner. Steve Williams right there to spoil the parade. Wild Thing Wayne Tate stamping the hands and fingers of Dr. D. David Schultz. And that'll hurt your phalange. Yes, your phalange. Kick to the midsection from Dr. D. David Schultz. Schultz takes Wild Thing down. Starts raining right hands on his head. Goes after the Freak too. Whoa, that was beautiful. Schultz just leapfrog a charge from the Wild Thing Wayne Tate. That was art. Nicely done by the doctor. Schultz whipped to the corner by the Wild Thing. Wild Thing gets a hook headbutt, and it just knocked him down into a seated position. And one more time, the Wild Thing trying to divorce Dr. D. David Schultz from some air. The Psychodelixx currently large and in charge of this one as the Freak is tagged in again. Schultz catches a series of wrist clutch kicks and a forearm to send him spinning. Here's another cover. 1, 2. And again, Steve Williams ruining what could have been a really quick match right here. Well, hardly quick now. We're more than halfway over. Williams whipped over the top rope by the Wild Thing. Running kick takes down the Freak. Dr. D. David Schultz moves back in, clubbing right to the Freak. A stomp to the back as Dr. D. David Schultz tries to regain control of things, get the momentum back. Double snaps the leg of the Freak. Schultz doing a little bit of showing off to the fans here in Winnipeg, and he's got some of them. Schultz is a legend. Dr. D with a clothesline takes the Freak down. He rounds him up again. Catches another kick to the midsection. The Freak catches a second. And all the way up into the powerbomb position. But the Freak says, oh, no, you don't. I'm not doing that one tonight. Hard shot to the midsection to Dr. D. David Schultz. Whoa! Whoa, what a guillotine leg drop right there from the Freak, who slides on out. Wild Thing Wayne Tate keeping an eye on Dr. D. David Schultz. The Freak beating his feet on the Mississippi mud. Oh man, Schultz is catching it. The Freak has him up over the shoulders. A running power slam on the outside as the referee continues to count. Schultz rolled back inside the ring, and the Freak and the Wild Thing both definitely charged up. But again, guys, this match has definitely run long. Wild Thing Wayne Tate brought in. Schultz laid out center ring. Pretty slow to get up. There's a rear chin lock. Dr. Death, not even needed there. Schultz got his way out. There's a kick to the midsection. A kick to the midsection for the Wild Thing and a clothesline from Schultz. Schultz raining knuckles to the temples of the Wild Thing Wayne Tate. I know he's just all out of patience now. There's a kick from the Wild Thing that takes Schultz down. Here comes the Freak again. Whoa. What a match we've got going here. The Freak with those multiple headbutts to Dr. D. David Schultz. The Freak delivers a couple of headbutts, walks out, says, I'm tired, here, you take over. Wow. Wild Thing Wayne Tate back in charge here. Clothesline pitches Schultz over the top rope out onto the floor. Steve Williams counters him and then steps down off the apron, knowing he's going to try it again. The Wild Thing comes out after him. Front cradle slammed into the... Oh, man, he just sunk down like Jello. Dr. D. David Schultz drives the Wild Thing into the barricades. Gathers him up again. Takes himself back inside the ring. The Wild Thing snaps out of it. Gets a hold of Steve Williams. Steve Williams delivers the knee. The Freak catches a shoulder tackle from Dr. D. David Schultz, and he's on the outside too. Yes, sir, this one did get out of control. Driving knee off the top rope from Dr. D. David Schultz to the Freak. Steve Williams setting up a pile driver on the Wild Thing, and he got it too. And, well, you got to admit the tides certainly have turned towards the Doctors. The Wild Thing pitches Williams towards the ramp. Schultz pitches him back inside the ring. Dr. D. David Schultz showboating on the apron. You know what that leads to. Oh, well, not this time. Wild Thing gets hung up on the top rope. Schultz moves in, gets a hold of Wild Thing Wayne Tate. Tate counters with a series of elbows to the midsection. Backs off Dr. D. David Schultz. Running clothesline takes him down to the canvas. Here comes the Freak again. Well, as we go to less than 5 minutes in this match, we could be seeing another time limit draw around here. The fans won't like that. Driving knee into the arm from the Freak. Here's the cover. One. But the very clever Dr. D. David Schultz reaching out, grabbing that bottom rope, and the eagle eye of referee Willie Johnson caught it. The Freak casually pitches Williams to the outside. Schultz is on the outside. The Freak is on the outside. He goes after Dr. D, catches a jawjacker instead, gets a hold of him, a kick to the midsection from the Freak, a running headbutt that misses the mark. Schultz goes behind, mumbo jumbo, look at that right there, quick counter from the Freak, catches a kick to the midsection. Schultz rolls back inside the ring by the Freak, who rolls himself back inside the ring, gets a hold of Dr. D. David Schultz, whips him into the far right corner, and man, these guys are working up a serious sweat over here. Scoop slam from the Freak, who goes for the cover and hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and with no Dr. Death Steve Williams to bail him out, the Psychodelixx pick up the win here by pinfall.
The time 16 minutes and 15 seconds. Your winners by pinfall, the Psychodelixx.
Well, guys, I was expecting a long match between the two teams, and neither of them let us down. What a battle, with the Freak and Wayne Tate, yet again, walking out of the building with another win on their ledger. Maybe it was D-Luscious with a little extra good luck, but whatever the case, the Psychodelixx reputation is just that much stronger, following this confrontation with Schultz and Williams.
A 6-woman tag team Cold War main event. Right after this, you better come back now.